Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Jamie, that's me here, and we're back for another From Jamie's Perspective, okay? And we have to talk about these Epstein files that dropped. We got to get into the TSA agents that have received about child. We'll get into it. But first off, I want to talk about Jasmine Crockett, all right? Before we get into the details of Jasmine Crockett, please be sure to like up the video. If you have any hypes left, please be sure to hype this video, okay? If you don't hype any other video up, definitely hype up my From Jamie's Perspective videos for me, and also subscribe to the channel. Now, I want to get into Jasmine Crockett because I feel like they are out here trying to malign my sister. They out here trying to malign this woman, and I'm not here for it. But let's get into the details. They're saying that Jasmine Crockett has used over $75,000 in campaign funds for luxury travel, accommodations, and security, including stays at high-end hotels and trips to places like Martha's Vineyard. Right? They're saying this spending has drawn criticism amid national debates on the use of campaign funds. The total disbursements for her campaign committee were 3.5 plus million dollars. All right. And this was between January 1 and September 30th of this year. I'm going to tell y'all right off the gate, I don't give a FUCK. I mean, really, I don't give a FUCK. Forget Trump. They fake. I do not care, right? I feel like she's been extremely critical of this administration, right? And just Republicans in general. She's been very, critical about them. She's had very strong opinions, and I think that's fine. I feel like Jasmine has been advocating for us. She's been very vocal when it comes to these Epstein files, calling people out for who they are and what they are. And to me, that is what I would like to see more in an opposing party. I mean, you guys do it on the side of Republicans. So why is it that she can't be very loud and vocal in what you guys do, which is what a lot of politicians do, right? Because she's so vocal, she's talking about these Epstein files. A lot of details are coming out. What they're doing on their side in the effort to distract is talk about, oh, let's talk about how she's spending her campaign funds. Well, I'm sure if you look at a vast majority of these others in politics and their campaign funds, it'll be very interesting to see what their funding is going to. I think her using her money for luxury locations for her to stay in, why not? Right? To secure luxury travel, accommodations, security, high end hotels. Like, man, listen, your administration literally shut down by choice. And keep in mind, as much as we're saying Democratic shut down, which it was not, right? You all decided to shut down SNAP, shut down payments to certain people, want to turn around and fire federal workers, is what you were hoping to do, to hold out as long as you can with this shutdown in an effort to get federal workers to resign, find other jobs so you can allocate that money somewhere else. You tried to fire people and were told that you cannot do that. Right? You don't know where the money is because you have to rob Peter to pay Paul. The one thing that their administration says that they were not trying to do, but you have to come over here to this contingency fund, and there's not enough money over there. So then we have to go over here and find this and that. And the judge told y'all, make it enough. Make it enough. Go and find the funds. Make it enough because it should have never been tampered with to begin with, right? Then you have these Epstein files and things that are coming out, and now you're trying to malign Jasmine Crockett. And I can imagine who else is going to be next on the totem pole. I do not fault her for how she's using this funding. It does not sound like she was doing anything that was inappropriate. It sounds like things that a lot of you guys were doing. In addition, as the shutdown was happening, you guys were literally on vacay. You guys were literally taking up space on other bases, okay, taking up space from the military people that are there. All while some of these military families were starving, whether they were veterans or active, right? Because of y'all withholding things. That was a choice as he's continuing to fly out and fly down to Mar-a-Lago or whatever it is, flying different places so that he can play golf and not give a damn about anybody else. Like, do not tell me anything about Jasmine Crockett and how she's spending this money if you don't have something else to show us that she was completely in the wrong. I see nothing like that. I don't care, especially when you guys had a complete shutdown. We're trying to fire federal workers, but we're still pocketing a check yourself. Make it make sense. Anybody affiliated with the government should not get a check if federal workers are not going to get a check. And considering the fact that they've been keeping everything running up until y'all made the decision to have a shutdown, they should never go penalized and without a check. Is you cool? Is you cool? You're not cool. I need them to get it together. Also with these Epstein files, details have come out, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But before we get into the Epstein files and the details that came out, I want to talk about the performativeness of Miss Christy Nome. down there to the Homeland Security, right? She Trump did an interview with one of the anchors over there at Fox. He talks about how, oh, you know, there were some TSA members that decided to continue to work, and we're going to give those people $10,000. She said, well, where are you going to find the money? He says, well, we'll figure it out. We always do that. We figure out where the money's going to come from, pull it from over here and pull it from over there. Well, why y'all couldn't figure out where the money was going to come from to pay the military families? Because a billionaire had to come out of his pocket to pay the salaries of those individuals to make sure those families ate. And I wouldn't be surprised if everybody did not receive compensation from that. Make it make sense for me. Now, Kristi Noem decided to be extremely performative, bringing out about maybe, I'll say maybe it was like maybe 10. It was like 10 TSA workers that she brought to the front so that she could show everybody, see, we have the $10,000 right here. We have the 10,000 bonus dollars right here. And they decided to, or she decided to be extremely performative and pass this money out to show, see how Trump keeps his promises. He said we were going to give these guys these 10,000, and that's what we're doing. And then what they did strategically was make sure that they pulled in all of the black individuals that worked. And keep in mind, this isn't even all. They pulled out the black folks, okay, to hand them a check, to be extremely performative, as if this is supposed to make up for things that's out there. When those Epstein files dropped, what ended up happening, they had an executive meeting. It was very quickly. They needed to reroute, re-strategize, and do some things. And now when we look over here, let's get this video up over here on the screen for us, right? And when we get this video up, it says Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, issued $10,000 bonus checks to TSA agents who stayed on the job during the shutdown.
I want to present to you a check and say thank you from the American people. Appreciate it. Ashley, and thank you. Yes. And is Leo here? All right, Leo. There you go.
All right, well, it's a nice moment.
People who could not afford to quit or even call out, because one, they probably didn't have any more time left, and two, out of fear that they would be fired and without a job, and hoped and prayed that they will be compensated in some type of shape, form, or fashion. It's just, for me, it's just given extremely, extremely performative. And you brought those few people there to give them a check. But what about the rest of the people across the United States? Will they receive theirs? I'm looking forward to seeing those TikToks go viral. Just a performative mess to also overshadow the fact that Trump has these Epstein files out, or at least, a party released those Epstein files. But in my personal, I don't think it's going to overshadow it. It's been a conversation for a very long time. It's going to continue to be a conversation. So
there
let's
in
get
Houston,
into more.
Texas, John, as Kristi Noem hands out those checks to those TSA workers who had to hold it down during the shutdown. So,
Rico, I want to present.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. I can't. Eligibility. They're saying the bonus is for officers who demonstrated exemplary service and will be awarded based on high performance marks from their supervisors. So even the people that stayed worked their asses off, right? The people that stayed worked their asses off without getting a check. Y'all have put boundaries in place to where everybody won't receive this check, but only those that demonstrated exemplary service and will be and those that were awarded the money based on high performance markers. So exemplary service and high performance markers, not just the fact that they still sat up there and worked without being compensated and bills continue to pile the fuck up. So then y'all even put parameters in place to where everyone would not qualify for it, even though they bust their ass. That's crazy. That's crazy. It shouldn't have even been no eligibility or no certain requirements. It should have just been, here you go. And then this performative shit of putting it on TV. Here's a check. 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 There you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. And she did this, from my understanding, I believe this took place out of Houston. Is you going to make your way over to Atlanta? All the people that had to deal with that long line of individuals trying to get to their flights, forever long. You probably had to get there 3 days early just to catch your flight on time. right? All of those people having to deal with that, and they stayed. Are y'all going to compensate the pilots? Not just the TSA workers, baby. Are y'all gonna accommodate the pilots, the traffic control that was outside, the people that had to give instructions to the pilots? Are you gonna? So don't come on here trying to give $10,000 to people if you're not gonna accommodate everybody in that arena. Hello? Because I understand some people may not like. Okay, well they weren't affected because they still got paid, but girl, they still had to go through a whole lot. They had to go through a whole lot. So since they already put some parameters in it, let's put more parameters in it. Okay, and let's widen it up a little piece. But anywho, I'm just over them. There's nothing that they will ever do that will be right to me. So if you are someone that stands on the side of them, then I don't care. You're just gonna end up being mad at this video. So you might not want to watch those moving forward because I'm never gonna stand on their side. Right? Just not gonna do that. Okay. But that's that. Let's hop over here and talk about these Epstein files for just a little piece because I didn't get all the way into all of the details yet because it what I pulled up ended up being over 2,000 pages. And I said, whoo, good Lord. Okay, I need them to break this down a little bit. So shout out to the TikTokers that have been going into the files, reading the files, and giving us the cliff notes, the sub notes, or whatever, pulling out the juicy, important pieces that we need to know. All right. So in this document, there are tens of thousands of pages that they're saying. From what I saw, like I told you guys, I only saw about 2,000, and there have been some email, text messages, and things that's been leaked. Some high profile names. Of course, we know that Trump's name was mentioned. We know that Prince Andrew's name was mentioned, and I believe that Prince Andrew stepped down, didn't he? I could have sworn Prince Andrew stepped down not too long ago from his position. Yes, Prince Andrew has been stripped of his title as the Duke of York and will be known as Andrew Windsor after King Charles III initiated a formal process to remove his titles, right? Let me tell you, the king over there is like, listen, I'm not trying to be affiliated with nothing you got going on, even if I may have touched a little piece. You ain't finna bring what I got going on down. My family put too much into this. You're going to have to go on about your business. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to help you out. But they're also mentioning, Bill Clinton's name, but I don't think that Bill Clinton's name was mentioned in a negative way from my understanding, right? But there have been quite a few names. I believe Steve Bannon's name has been in there. And for you guys that were wondering, Steve Bannon was the guy that said if we don't get a control of things and we lose the midterms, they're not going to let Trump serve out the rest of his years. A lot of us are going to go to prison, including myself, a lot of other people. So we got to let Trump stay in and do what he has to do or whatever the case is. All right. So he was mentioned. Michael Wolff, I believe is his name, was mentioned. There has been a lot going on with these Epstein files, and it does not look good, at least to us. Right. But be very clear. I do feel like the people that support this administration are going to support this administration by any means. Right. If they've been doing it, they're going to continue to do it. I feel like starving the people of America, not paying out their families and stuff, if that wasn't enough for them to turn their heads away, and it does seem like people were fed up based on how a lot of people went to the polls to vote. It definitely gave a great look for the Democrats, right? And with this information coming out, it might turn some people, but I feel like the people that are a part of this quote unquote cult, they're going to accept any and every behavior. And a lot of people cannot relate to others' hardships and what they may have endured while going through such a trafficking situation with these high profile individuals. If you did not directly go through it, some people aren't going to be able to relate. They're not going to care. It didn't happen to them. And they're going to use this as another way of saying, oh, they're just trying to take him down. They're just some of this information isn't true. Oh, that's not real. Oh, this was Photoshop. Like they're going to concoct all kind of excuses. And it's a lot of them. When I look back at January 6th, like, photos and videos, and I saw all of those people that were out there, I still feel like all of those people still exist in support of that administration and what they represent. I think maybe 10% has fallen off since then as their family life likely has changed. Okay. Maybe they were impacted by some of the decisions made during the shutdown. So maybe they have changed their minds just a little bit, but a ton of them definitely exist. right? So you see some people online that's turning their head away, and they've been doing that all year. I'm not supporting him anymore. I'm no longer MAGA. I'm not doing da. But it's still a vast majority of them that are. And it's nothing you can do. So that's how I feel about Jasmine Crockett. There's nothing you could say for me at this time to make me turn away from her, because I see what y'all are doing. And that's going to be the same case for people that are supporting this administration and what they represent. And it's absolutely disgusting. I can't. I just feel like no one man should have all that power. And the fact that some people just giving it up, just giving it over to him, like I can't take it. If we weren't built on kingship or whatever, I don't think we should start being on that, right? But all roads are leading to, dictatorship. And we pretty much already here. Okay, so it's disgusting, but hopefully he can be stopped in his tracks. But it's going to require you people to go out and vote next year. Get all your details, get all your facts. Don't just take what we say as fact. Go out and do your further research for yourself. I don't even care if you have to use ChatGPT. And I understand how people feel about ChatGPT and how it's very harmful for society. So if you just do your Google searches or whatever searches and learn what you need to know and what you don't need to know, and go out there and do your voting next year, pick somebody. Don't just not go to the polls. Pick somebody. All right? See what they're about. Get a quick synopsis. Get a breakdown. Okay, what do they represent? What do they represent? Okay, I see. Okay, I kind of agree with some things they saying. I agree with what they saying. Okay, I agree with 90% versus what you saying. I'm finna go over here. Like, pick somebody, go out there and vote. But when you vote, you know how people say, don't sit up here and drive for yourself. You got to drive for others on the road. I also feel like don't vote for yourself, vote for others as well, right? Think about your community, think about your environment, think about your future life and what you want it to look like, right? I understand politicians are not going to always get it right. They don't. None of them are perfect. Every single person that was in office in any position has faced some form of criticism. But we need to at least do the research and pick the best person that represents what you feel you want your future to look like. All right. That's all I got, especially if you got like grandkids, cousins, nieces, babies, whatever. Like, think about that. Okay. That's all that I got. I'm Jamie. That's me. I thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know your thoughts about everything, how they out here trying to malign my girl, Jasmine Crockett. Let me know your thoughts about the TSA members getting the 10 racks. If you are a TSA member, did you? Did one of your family members receive a 10K? Did they get an email saying it's on the way? Leave it down below in the comments, and also let me know your thoughts about the Epstein files. All right. That's all I got from Jamie's perspective. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film. I can fill a pool. We gon' make them